Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all good. Now, today I've got a very special guest. I'm joined by a big Arsenal fan, Jamie, who's going to join me today to preview the Arsenal vs Bournemouth game at the weekend. And we were just saying off air how excited we are to have Arsenal back. I mean, obviously, things are hopefully looking good, but for England, but for us right now, it's not the same. Arsenal, just feels amazing watching them play. But first of all, Jamie, how are you doing? How are you surviving without Arsenal?
You know what? Not well, but I did have to step foot in the other half of North London on Sunday to watch NFL at the toilet bowl around the corner. So that kind of kept me a bit busy.
Yeah.
But aside from that, Arsenal are back. Like I said just beforehand that I forgot England even played on Sunday, and
Yeah.
I left the NFL game. I saw it was 2-0, and I was like, oh, brilliant! Who are playing? Who's starting? I didn't really care about it, but Tuchel's
Yeah.
kind of announcement. I'm happy with it. Looking forward to that.
Mm,
I'm upset he's not starting in November. He's starting in January, so I
mm.
won't bother again November about watching England games. But I don't really care for him. It's Arsenal all the way, a club of a country. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's how it's going to be going forward for quite a while for me, anyway.
Yeah, it's a different type of feeling when you're watching your club to your country. Like, it's amazing if you're able to win those in those tournaments, but I think you have a different type of connection with your club. So I think it's just so good. Obviously, Arsenal to be back at the weekend, and yeah, I've really really missed them, to be honest. And I think a lot of us have noticed this now. There's been so many international breaks since the season started, and I think there's another one coming up soon. So yeah,
Mhm.
there's a bit too many really for me, but obviously it's sometimes a good chance for players to have a bit of a rest, like Havertz, party, but obviously Saka, we know hopefully he's okay. But yeah, we are gonna preview the game, but I first of all I want you to get your thoughts. Like, what have you made of the season so far? Obviously, we're at sort of the start of the season, and it's a bit early to sort of say if we can win the league. But yeah, have you been happy with our start we've had? Because I know, obviously, we've not lost. We've had a few draws, but we've also had a lot of wins as well.
Yeah, really happy. I think the way of looking at it, the two draws we've had
Yeah.
have both been just so frustrating. The Brighton game,
Yeah.
take away the Rice red card, take that away. We still had chances to win that with 10 men, and we probably should have taken. The City one, it's strange. If you'd said before the game, "Do you want a point?" I'd be like, "Absolutely. I'll
Yeah.
take your hand off right now." But the way it happened, how it happened, and again, forgetting the red card. If it was 11 versus 11 for 90 minutes, I think we beat them. I really, really do.
Mm,
I fully believe that. And even at halftime, I told my friends, "All right, if any team in Europe can stop this City team from scoring and defend,
mm.
it's going to be Arsenal." And
Yeah.
to be so close is just frustrating. But we've won some games late on as well. We've come back, so I'd say overall, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I think with all due respect, Liverpool, their
Mm,
start isn't isn't them. I think they've had a bit of an easy run.
mm.
Again, a bit of
Yeah.
luck as well. And I think if they can get through, I think they've got a gap now between now and I think the start of December, a really, really tough gap. If they're still fighting at the top, fair credit. It'll be between us, them, and City. But no, I think it'll be between us and City again. And look, I
Mm.
think we're going to do it. I said it before the season. I'll say it now, and I'll say it come May. I think we're going to do it.
Yeah, I think with how we played against Man City, I think that really sort of showed me that we're able to compete with them, but we've also figured them out. We figured Haaland out, and you could really see in that game we were really frustrating them, and it was sort of nice to see because we've sort of been used to sort of getting battered by them or losing out, and obviously that's been frustrating. But even with 10 men, I think we did amazing. And like you said, watching that game, I think we were so close to winning, and that would have been massive for us. But I think at the end of the day, a draw is still a very good result for Arsenal. I think with the Brighton one, I feel like we could have won that, but obviously you look at it now, I mean, we're in a good position. Obviously, Liverpool are ahead of us, and we probably will play them very soon. So if we, beat them or get a positive result, that'll help us. And I think with Rodri being out, it does help. And obviously, I never wish an injury on anyone, but it does sort of put us in a better position for the league. So I really do hope we can do it. And yeah, it's going to be a big season ahead. But I feel the same as you. I'm really happy with our start we've had. But for you, looking to the game at the weekend, how are you feeling about it? I mean, obviously, the international break's been here for like ages. It feels like it's happened for a while. And I know we've got a few injuries. I know Tomiyasu's injured. I know Martinelli might be in doubt. I think Saka should be okay. But yeah, how are you feeling going to the game at the weekend?
Confident as I am with every game. I think, yeah, like you said, obviously
Mm,
Tomiyasu's out. Obviously Odegaard's still out. I think Martinelli made the bench last night for Brazil. I'm not too sure, but he hopefully will come back. But even if he's not,
yeah.
look, I trust Sterling on the
Mhm.
hands on that side, or Trossard if you want to play him.
Mm.
Maybe bring in someone else at the Odegaard role. But I think leaving behind Partey and Havertz at the start of the break is
Mm.
really important for us because they've played a lot of minutes both for Arsenal and Germany recently, and Partey especially needs a bit of a break. So if they are fully fit as we expect them to be, and it is just precautionary, yeah, but they'll start on Saturday, and I think
Yeah,
we'll just be, with all due respect to Bournemouth, just a class above.
yeah,
Hopefully, one of Timber or White is back. Um, I just don't think, all due respect to Partey, he's the best at right back. Look, he's good, he can fit in,
mhm.
but obviously you want your best players there, and we've got a big run coming up, obviously this game, but I think it's Shakhtar and then
Yeah,
obviously
it's
Liverpool next week as
busy
well. So
schedule,
it's
yeah.
you want to have your players fully fit up and running for that Liverpool game next Sunday because that's a big one. Like you said, if we can get a positive result
Mm.
there, they're coming to the Emirates. We're going to, well, make it loud, make it scary, and hopefully do the same as last season. So, but
Yeah,
with Bournemouth, I'm look, not to belittle them, but every time I've seen them this season, they've not been amazing. Um, they of course beat Southampton 2 weeks ago. I think that's a Monday night game, and look, yeah, they look really good. But Southampton aren't exactly the best team in the world. Um,
yeah,
Before that, they got outclassed by Liverpool. They even lost to Leicester, who I think, with all due respect to Leicester, aren't, say that good's a bit harsh, but they're not what they used to be. You know, the
yeah,
fans know that, the players know that. So I think that one's a bit of a miss for them. But they're still a good Premier League team, Bournemouth, and I still respect a few issues. They've got some good players, but yeah, I'm fairly confident going into it. I think last year we beat them, what, 3-0
mm,
there, 4-0 at the Emirates. So we might get a
yeah.
similar result as that one by the sounds of it.
I think with Bournemouth, like we sort of know going into this, it should be a comfortable win, and I think we possibly could rotate. I mean, it's sort of hard really because I know sometimes when we make a lot of rotations, it causes us a bit of problems and we pick up injuries. But I think with that game, I think this is probably like the perfect game to come back to because I think, like you said, we have Liverpool coming up, and I think it gives us a good chance to have our first game back in the Premier League, and it gives you a bit of chance to sort of get used to it because I know when you play international football, you're getting used to playing with different players there, and it's all a lot with the schedule. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, obviously we mentioned, I think with Saka, I personally think he's fine. I mean, I think he did the right thing coming back to Arsenal. But I know he always picks up injuries and he's always okay. But with like the lineup, we know any game in the Premier League you can't really predict. Like, I mean, years ago you could probably say we'll beat them, and obviously it's a lot harder. And then we should be beating them anyway. But for you, would you obviously make any more changes? Obviously, we know Odegaard's probably going to be out for a little bit, like November time, I think. But I think interesting as well with Ben White, like you said, is he going to start? Is he going to be fit? Are we going to play Timber? Because we have to remember Timber's actually been doing really well when he's been playing and he's got that confidence now. So yeah, what lineup would you like to see for this game?
I think firstly it depends on who's fitter out of Saka
Yeah.
and Martinelli. I will be shocked if both of them start. Just
Mm,
precautionary. I think we've got the point now where we've got, obviously Sterling, like I mentioned before, can come in. Jesus having a bit of a miss-hit season so far, but I
mm,
feel one goal could change him around.
yeah.
We've got Trossard can go out there as well. Obviously, Winieri can come in. So out of those two, it's who's the fittest. But I think the rest of it kind of picks itself. You know, it'll still be Raya. Timber
Yeah.
is obviously coming back from an ACL injury still as well, so we've got to be careful with him. But if one of him or White is fit, I don't mind who it is. Bring him back in. You're back to is what Sleeper and Gabriel. They aren't going to be moved, are they? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
And
they're always going to stay, aren't they?
no,
Yeah.
and it's a rogue one. Calafiori is doing fantastic. He is brilliant. I really, really love him. If Zinchenko is fit, as kind of being rumored around the club at the
Mhm.
moment, I wouldn't mind seeing him get some, maybe not start, but get some minutes, maybe coming on,
Yeah.
just to have him as an option. Because I do think if Calafiori does get an injury somewhere, and we got to bring in a from the cold Zinchenko has not played in the last few weeks, that might be a bit of an issue down the line. So
Yeah.
if we can bring him in at some point, that'd be good. But I would arguably the biggest point for me on Saturday is start Moreno. That is what I would try to do. Um, Obviously his debut against PSG, then of course coming on against Southampton. move Rice across, bring Moreno in, and hopefully give him a start. And
Yeah.
let's see what he's about. Let's see what he can do because he's a signing that's definitely not divided the fan base, but there's a few people who aren't sure about him. And look,
Mhm.
if you haven't seen much about him, that's fair credit. It's one of those sort of things. So from what I've heard and what I've seen, I expect good things and big things from him. I think he'll be a very shrewd
Yeah.
signing. So let's start him on Saturday and kind of go from there. And of course, like I said before, out of Saka Martinelli, whichever's fitter, I'd
Yeah.
start them and rest the other one. And if Kai is fully fit, which we expect, that he's starting straight up top, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
someone said I saw on Twitter the other day that he's one of the best centre forwards in the league. He got laughed at, kind of a bit of abuse thrown at him. I took a step back. I was like, you know what? What hasn't he actually got? This season, since January this year, he has been so confident and just changed to a
Yeah.
completely
It's
different
amazing
animal,
to
and
see. Yeah.
it's remarkable. So why is he not one of the best centre forwards in the league? Obviously, he's not Haaland. He's not going to score
Mm.
30, 40, 50 goals a year like that robot does. But I can guarantee you, this season, I think he'll get 30 goals or assists. 'Cause he's on, I think, 7 goals already and 1 assist.
Yeah, he's had such a good start, hasn't he? Like, the season's just
Yeah.
started and he's doing amazing. Yeah, I think it's amazing to see, like, the start he's had. I mean, last season we saw sort of to the middle of the season to the end what he did, and and you think, in the full season where he's got more confidence and he loves the fans, he's got a great connection with the fans, and I
Mm.
think this season is going to be massive for him. Do you feel like though with, I mean, I know Jesus is still here, but obviously at the moment he's not really scoring goals, but would you say, with Havertz, he could win us the league, or do you feel like we need someone else to sort of help him, like a difference maker in the team?
It's a tough one. I think, well, like I said, 7 goals already this season. Of course, one in the League Cup, one in the Champions
Yeah,
League. I do feel he's good enough to do it, but he needs help from others around him, which is what
yeah,
Arsenal do really well. See, Saka is so ahead in the assists. He's obviously got a few goals as well now. Like, at least finally cracked his little spell he was on and got some goals as well, so that's good for him. And Trossard's chipped in, so bring back
yeah.
in Erdegaard's. Um, maybe obviously Rice and a few fullbacks get forward as well and score some goals. Obviously, Calafiori's stunner against City helped massively. So I do think Havertz can do it, but
Mm,
I do think he needs that bit of help from around the squad. Obviously, having the likes of Sterling and Jesus, that when he does score,
yeah,
they are usually important goals or important assists. It's just getting them at first one of the season and getting across the line. It's frustrating because you can see when he came in, if the Bournemouth game 2 years ago, for example, he set that alight. He was phenomenal. His
yeah,
ball work, his dribbling, we all went, "Wow, how have City let this guy go? He is
mm,
remarkable." 2 years later, it shows how far we've moved. We've moved on past him. And Zinchenko, it's no discredit to them as players. They are fantastic players, and they are brilliant people around the club as well. But Arsenal are just stepping up a little bit further than them now. It's not a problem. That's
mm,
football. I think they'll both probably move on next summer as well
yeah,
for the right price. So hopefully we can get a few good moments out of him the rest of his season before we do let him go. But yeah, I still think he's got
mm.
a part to play this season, Jesus. But Havertz is
Yeah.
the main man. He will be going
Yeah, I
forward.
think, I can't remember which game. I think it was probably last game, but we saw Havertz and Jesus to play together. I know they were playing in different positions, but I think you could really sort of see the difference in them between Havertz and Jesus, because I think Havertz, you got us that equaliser, and he sort of, in a sense, he sort of got us to win the game. And I think with Jesus, I mean, he could improve. I mean, Havertz is so good at the moment. We know Haaland's just a different level to sort of all of the other strikers in the league and in Europe, but I think with Jesus, I think, there's still hope for him. I mean, I know his performances recently have been a bit underwhelming, but I think it's a big season ahead, and I think it probably will be his last season. I think, and hopefully we could win the league with him. And same with Zinchenko, because Zinchenko is quite interesting. Like a bit like Jesus when he first came. I was so delighted to have him, and he was probably maybe Arteta's best signing for a while. A lot of people really loved him, and I think we all sort of knew defensively it was sort of his little weakness, but because he was scoring goals, we saw that bit that we liked about him. And obviously, at the moment, he's not really the first option you'd play at left back, and that sort of goes on to the game as well. That if he did play against Bournemouth, I'm not going to mind because I think you can sort of risk that in this game. I think, like, obviously, you couldn't really risk playing him against Liverpool because Liverpool, have a lot more strengths and they've got a lot more top players. But I think with Bournemouth, I think you could probably risk that. So I think with Sinchenko, he's a very good player, but it does seem to me like those two probably will move on after this season.
Yeah, and it's look, like I said before, great players, great people to have
Mm,
at the club, but unfortunately, football just moves on sometimes, and that's why City got rid
yeah.
of them. That's why we probably will. And
Mm,
same, look, someone said it the other day, but Kieran Tierney's going to go in January, or if not the summer. 3, 4 year ago, he's our captain. Everyone's
yeah.
saying that he's our next captain. He's our leader. This is going to be the guy who takes us to the next era of Arsenal. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
not his fault he got injured. It's not his fault we've moved past him. I did think there was a place for him still this season in regards to
Mhm.
what he is something we simply don't have at the club. An overlapping fullback who will just run, 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 and
Yeah.
defend. And yeah, if he wasn't injured at the Euros, he probably would have been sold in the summer. But I really, really did think he had a place, at least. Look, I'm not saying he's going to play 30 games for us, but 5 or 6 games here or there, where we think we need to break this team down. What we're going to do? Okay, let's change our invert left back to a winging left back, and just have him overlap constantly over Martinelli and hopefully get somewhere. But look, it's not going to happen. I think both the club, Arteta and Tierney, all know that, and I think they all accept that. And this again, move past him is not a problem. We'll do the
Mhm.
same with Jesus and Zinchenko, and who knows this time next summer who it's going to be, if anyone. I think we're getting to the point now where we are building a team who is very much the best of the best, the top of the
Yeah.
game. So just keep it
I
moving
think
forwards.
defensively, like our back four, we know our lineup anyway. We sort of know our strongest lineup, and I think with Tierney, like I've seen sort of rumors about maybe him going back to Celtic, and I think it wouldn't surprise me, and like a lot of us would be happy for him. And he's been very professional throughout his whole time at Arsenal. I think if he didn't have the injuries, I think Arteta would probably be more open to maybe for him to stay at Arsenal. But I think because we've got a lot of players as well that get injured a lot, maybe it's a good time now to see if we can get money for him. But it feels quite strange because, like you said at one point, when the stuff happened with Aubameyang and we were thinking of captains, the first two captains that I thought in my head was Tierney and Gabriel. It's weird, really, because I think not many people picked Odegaard that in their head. If you'd have asked people a few years ago who would replace Aubameyang, no one. I mean, you might, I don't know, but a lot of
No,
people
I definitely
wouldn't have
didn't.
thought Odegaard. Really, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and I think that just goes to show we don't know what happens behind the scenes as
Yeah.
much as we think. And I think that's great that Arsenal keep it that way because
Mm.
since he has been made captain, you can see why. Not just on the
Mm.
pitch, but in interviews after the
Yeah.
games, even on for Norway. He's captain for Norway. If they lose a game, he'll still go out and do his presser. I saw midweek, obviously, Haaland was captain of Norway, so obviously Ødegaard's not there.
Yeah.
They lost midweek. He didn't go out and do an interview after the game. He stormed off like an absolute child. So Martin
You've
just
got
is
to take that
classy.
responsibility,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And he is just what Arsenal are. He's classy, he's smooth, and he's just to the point. And he shows Arsenal, or shows what Arsenal are in the modern day. And yeah, Arteta's made the right choice, and he's one hell of a player as well. Let's just get that out the way. He's not just a captain; he is one
Yeah.
hell of a player. And there's remarkably some fans on Twitter who think when he's back in a few weeks, he won't get in the team. I think that's
He's
ludicrous.
getting back in that team when he's
He's
back.
walking straight back
Yeah,
in that
he
team. I'm so
honestly
sorry.
is.
Look, Trossard's done really well, and I do like Trossard,
Mm.
but come on, it's Martin Odegaard. He's
Yeah,
walking straight back in,
do you know what? I
whether he's
think
fully fit or not.
I think this is obviously taught us a good lesson because we sort of know the right person if Odegaard, is injured any other time, that Trossard's the best player really we have, I think, to be in that position because I was worried, Havertz would play there and we know Havertz is better up top scoring goals. So I think we've learned, we have the option in Trossard to do that. But like you said, Trossard as well is a very good person, like off the bench as well. I mean, he can play and do really well, but it's nice to have that impact player coming off the bench. I mean, Odegaard, yeah, he's definitely going to walk straight back in this team, but he has been missed, to be honest. I mean, I'd be glad to have him back. It feels like the longest time since we've seen him, but I think I know there was a lot of rumours thinking he was out to December, and I don't know what happened with that. I think people might have made that up or something, but I'm sure he's out and back in November. So yeah, Odegaard is yeah. I mean, I think he's a great captain. Like we said, I think like when he always comes out in interviews and like you sort of believe every word he says and he shows you that in his performances as well. So yeah, I'm really hopeful for Odegaard this season. But I wanted to ask you about the season as well. Like obviously last season I think Declan Rice really stood out to me as well as like other players like Gabriel, Saliba. But this season, who do you feel like would be your standout player?
Oh, that is a good question.
It's hard because you just want to pick all of them.
Yeah, there's 3 that spring to mind. Obviously, Rice has been okay. I think, Gabriel and Saliba have been fantastic, as they always
Yeah,
are. But for me, the main 3 who without this season, we kind of I think we wouldn't be even be in the top 3, we'd be a bit lower. David
yeah.
Raya, because he has
Mm.
been
Yeah, he's had a
unreal.
great start.
The first few games kept us in it. Um, the double save obviously away at Atlanta, the save from Watkins at Villa, a few saves against, City as well. Been so many moments where he's just kept us in the lead or drawing, and it's so important. And then on the other end, it's Saka and Havertz. I can't pick between the 2 of them
Yeah,
because
it's so hard.
for as many assists Saka's got, Havertz has got the same amount of goals nearly. So they're both so important to each other. And I'd probably be a bit biased and go Saka. It is obviously a
Mhm.
tail ender just to kind of keep it that way. But yeah, out of those 3, it's so tough. And all 3 of them deserve their credit. It's without them, I don't really know where we'd be. To be honest with you, it's already
Yeah,
in what October.
I think to be honest, like when you notice the big players that aren't playing, I remember when Rice wasn't playing because of a suspension, you realised, I know this season he's been good, he's started off a bit slow. I know obviously the season started, but when he's not playing you do sort of notice that difference, like Partey and him, work well together and with Odegaard. So but yeah, like you said with Saka, I think with Saka, I think you know what you're going to get from him. You know he's going to put in a 7 or 8 out of 10 performance week in week out, or even higher than that. And he'll always try to make things work even when things aren't going our way. And yeah, it's so hard to pick. I mean, you mentioned Raya as well. He's had an amazing start to the season. I mean, I'll be honest, I was quite shocked at how good he's been. I mean, we've seen how good he is,
Mm.
but the saves he's made. I mean, people have sort of said the sort of like David Seaman type of saves, and like they're at that level. So I think for him this season, I reckon he's definitely up there. And yeah, I'm just so excited for this season ahead. It's going to be so amazing, and it's just so nice to have these options of how amazing these players are. Like I know a few years ago, we probably wouldn't be able to pick as many players as we can now. So it's obviously nice to have that option. But for the Bournemouth game, what is your score prediction?
I go confident, and I think it'll be
Mm,
2-0. I think
yeah,
we'll score in each half. And I think Havertz will get another one. I really think we'll keep this run going. And I hope for his sake he gets one against Liverpool as well, because that'll
yeah,
then be the 8 in a row, which will be brilliant for him to have. But yeah, 2-0 Havertz, and I don't care who gets the other one.
yeah.
Maybe
As long as we
Saka,
win.
maybe actually no, Saliba hasn't scored yet this season. I see Gabby's
Yeah, he
got 2,
scored.
so
Yeah.
Saliba to start catching up with Gabby. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling quite confident. I do think they'll score for some reason. So I reckon it'll be like 2-3-1. I think 3-1 to be honest. I think it's just going to be a good game. Like you said, I think we go into this game, we've got no reason not to be confident. I think we've got a very strong team. Even with injuries, we're doing really well. And we've got a lot of backup options. And obviously, like you said, Marino, if he obviously got a start, it'd be good to see what he's about as well. Because, like you said before, I know some fans aren't too sure on him. I mean, for me, I think I'd need to see more of him to properly make a judgment of him, a bit like Sterling. I know we've seen Sterling like Man City, but I think yeah, we need to sort of give these players time to sort of see how they'll fit into this team. But yeah, I'm feeling quite confident. Like you said, I think it should be a comfortable 3 points. I think as long as we get that win, that will obviously give us confidence going to the next games. But yeah, I'm so excited for this game. But before we do go, do you want to just tell people where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, so on X, or Twitter, maybe you still call it, I am Big Bear Kentler. Find me on there. I will 99% tweet Arsenal stuff with the odds bit about the NFL, about Baltimore Ravens. But yeah, Big Bear Kentler on Twitter.
Yeah, please do give Jamie a follow. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It's been really nice to chat about Arsenal. I
It
mean,
has
I'm
been
just
lovely.
so
Thank you.
excited to have them back soon. It'd be
Yeah,
so
it's
good,
great.
yeah.
It's look, it's it breaks over. We've got another one in what, a
Mm,
month, I think, just under. Let's forget about it though. Let's
yeah,
enjoy Arsenal now. We've got Champions League games, we've got Premier League games, we've got League Cup games, we've got everything. It's all kicking off.
yeah,
It's great. It's not just Premier League. We've so much to look forward to before it comes back and a dreaded international break. But it's fine. I said we'll
yeah.
ignore it. Arsenal are back. Let's focus on that.
Yeah, it feels like a quite exciting time. Like you said, there's a lot going on with the cup games as well, and I'm just so excited to be honest. But yeah, it'd be nice to have Arsenal back, and yeah, I'm just so excited for this game. But yeah, to those that will be watching this back, I hope you have enjoyed this. Hope you're looking forward to the game at the weekend, and yeah, please do hit like button on this video. Do subscribe here if you are new, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.